Okay, I want to welcome everybody to Saturday Cup of Joe. I hope you're having a great week. Let me more here in the flesh. We didn't have a Cup of Joe last week due to Easter, but today we have a special guest. Bill will be joining us later on. For you guys who are ready for the new software, calm down. It's going to be okay. It's an awesome thing. I went through it myself. It's going to be all right, but he'll be on later, hopefully, to explain that. If not, we'll shoot you an email after this, all right? But today, I want to focus on a very special guest right here in the DFW. I met this gentleman at a creators event here, I guess, 2 weeks ago, and he sat next to me, and he blew me away. He literally blew my socks off. Anyway, guys, I want to introduce to you Gary Leland. What is up, my man?
Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for having me on the show. That was a great event at Jira Fact, but glad to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Now, Gary, on my show, we're kind of relaxed. We're not too professional. We just want to have a good time and learn about your life, and you learn about mine. And it's like a family show, man. We get to know everyone. My business partner, Bill, will come on later. He's late. He's looking at a venue right now. I think he's going to get married or something like that. That's a secret, y'all. The cat is out the bag. But I just learned of that last night. So anyway, today we're just going to talk about some stuff. And Gary, tell us where you live at and how long you've lived there.
Well, I live in Arlington 31 years. I moved there from South Carolina. Now, my kids, who are 27 and 28, told me in Texas over half my life. They had a party for me and said I was an official Texan because I'd lived here over half my life. That was the rules my kid told me. So, but I claim to be a Texan.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong being a Texan. You know what I mean? I travel a lot, and every time I'm out for at least like 3 days, I'm like, I'm ready to get back home. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's nothing like Texas.
I got to leave for Vegas. I got to go to Vegas for New Media Expo and National Association of Broadcasters, and I already am wanting to get back home, and I hadn't got on the plane yet.
Awesome. So, Gary, tell us a little bit about your business, your hardcore. Now, I'm going to call this the secret niche because the viewers that are watching right now, we're all marketers, and we do a lot of internet stuff or offline marketing for businesses as well. And these people are not going to believe how you built a fortune off of this niche. And when Jeremy told me, and then you sat down with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Tell me what is your niche? Let's just start from there.
Niche is girls fast pitch softball. So you got to realize you got softball. Then you go to fast pitch softball, which is like a third of that. And then you go to girls softball, which is half of that. So it's a pretty small niche. But the thing about a small niche, like girls fast pitch softball compared to baseball, which is the difference in night and day. Baseball, as far as niche side, would be 100 yards on the football field. Girls softball would be a foot, if you were to measure them out. It's easy to control a niche and dominate it. And that's the thing about a niche that's wonderful. There's not as many people, but you can dominate that niche and you can basically control it. I can't go anywhere. Has anything to do with girls fast pitch softball without being recognized. I'm at a batting cage this morning instead of at home filming episodes with a guy who was a men's USA fast pitch softball pitcher. And even in the batting cage over here in McKinney, people came up to me and go, hey, I watch your show all the time. So you can control that niche. Now, and nowhere else will anyone know me. But in my niche, I pretty much dominated.
Wow. That's crazy. And when you said softball the other day, I was like, softball, and all these things flashed in my life slowly. And I was like, are you kidding me? Softball, everybody's trying to go out and find the best, bigger and best things. You, my friend, was like, I'm going to keep this simple, and I'm just going to work it out. We're going to do some softball stuff. Now, were you a coach before, Gary?
Yeah, I had a team. My daughters basically. People always ask how I got into it. My daughters played, and actually my daughter played on another team and was never good enough to play. So being the control freak I am and driven for success, I said, we'll just start a damn team and you'll get to play every we did. And we won at 14 under. We won the national or state championship. 15 under, we won the state championship again. And then we came in 4th and 5th in national championships. So we were pretty good. And then I started a store online selling softball equipment. Softball. And I actually found that as the first store that ever catered to girls fast pitch softball, that niche deal again. Up till then, they all bought their stuff from baseball websites or slow pitch websites. When we had to buy football cleats because we couldn't, at the local sporting goods store. Overnight, that thing became a success. I think the first month we did, I just started adding stuff and building this store at home. I already had a website I had built in 96, so I was kind of used to it. But I started adding stuff to it. In the first month, I think we did like $1,000. The next month, we did $2,000. And then the next month, we did like $5,000. And the next month, we did 10, then 20, then 40, then 60, then 80, then 100. And it just kept going through them. I can tell you, here's the deal. I can give your viewers a really good tip on when they know if they've got a successful website. This is a tip that's really good. When you get like 5 calls a day on the phone from people going, oh my gosh, this is the best website I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like this. I'm going to tell everyone I know. When you get like 5 calls a day like that, your website's good, Right. And I said it wasn't because I was great, at building websites. It's our largest website in the world. First one to cater to that market, instead of going to a guy's website, So overnight it became a success. So that started really, the coach of my kids started it, but that took me into making money off of it. Because my wife would give me the hardest time for Evelyn. You spend all night Tuesday with those kids at practice, all night Wednesday with those kids at practice, all night Thursday with those kids at practice, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, every weekend of the year, you're in a tournament. You spend more time with free helping those kids at softball than you do at work. So I was glad I was able to figure out a way to make money.
There you go, man. There you go. Because, sometimes the wives, man, they don't like you out there just playing around for free. You know what I mean?
So that gets old.
Yeah.
That gets old. Yeah, we were making a fine living. It's just she's going, you're spending 30 hours a week on this thing. If you spend half of that working, we'd have more money, maybe. I don't know. But now it all makes us a living. So she's cool with it now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When it changes around, everything's all calm. Before, this used to be Cup of Cocoa as a joke. Oh, he's doing Cup of Cocoa for a group, and I don't know what he's doing. But it's Cup of Joe. You see what I'm saying? Anyway. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. So
you know where that term Cup of Joe came from?
Go ahead, share with us.
Oh, well, in World War II,
right,
when the troops, they would be fighting and they would call them Joes, for G.I. Joe or whatever. And when they'd have coffee, the English would call it a cup of Joe because Joes drank it. And that's where that term came from. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, I've read that actually, and I looked it up one day. I was like, what does that mean? I was like, oh, that makes sense. The Army men, Joes. Okay. So, yeah, awesome. Gary, when you built your website, did you know how to produce a website yourself, or was this something you had to learn, or how did that come about?
I had already built one. Back then, it was Front Page, is what I used. I don't know if you're familiar with Front Page. It was a Microsoft tool.
How long ago was that? Gary?
I built my first website in 96. I built my softball website in 2000, 3 years later. So it was just a tool. They were really, if you go on the Wayback Machine, look in, oh my Lord, it was so bad. But it was a simple website, just had stuff on it. And I already had my shopping cart from my wallpaper website that I had paid someone to build that one. So I just used the same. Actually, when they bought something, they went to the shopping cart and it said Leland's wallpaper to pay for it. So because I didn't know how to build shopping carts, so I just was using the same shopping cart. So it was pretty much that was kind of like a crappy tool for building websites that I used. Like I said, that was a Microsoft tool. So it did, Lynn, you don't have to be great or perfect to do well. You just have to do it. A lot of people put off stuff forever because they say, I don't have this, I don't have this perfect. I need to get this figured out. And I'm one of those people who go ahead, let's go ahead and start making some money. And I'll just figure this out as I go along, Perfect. I never got any websites done, because my first one was bad. They play music in different, my first website was a wallpaper website. I also own the largest wallpaper store in Texas. You probably don't know that. I told you that.
I know. I heard. You told me.
Okay. But my first website was for the wallpaper store. And when you go to the children's wallpaper page, it'd play like The Little Mermaid, Under the Sea. And then when it would go to the men's, it would play some rock song. I mean, my first website was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. Oh, every page you went to, it played the theme music for that page. I remember that was the worst website I've ever seen in my life. Probably was mine.
That's funny. You do something so bad that it turns out all right later on. And I tell people that all the time, it's like, man, you've got to do something so bad enough, it's going to turn out right. Trust me, you can't be bad all your life.
Yeah, I think no matter what you do, I don't care what it is, when you look at it 10 years later, it's going to be bad. Because you're going to have gotten so much better at it. But it's just a matter of how bad it's going to be. I guess, like in my case, it was really bad. But that's why I say wait forever to get something done because they can't get it done perfect. Then a lot of them never do it. And for the last 30 years, or not last 30 years, but I've been in business there's 40 years. But I've had people since I started my first website. We go, hey, I want to make a website. I go, what do you like? I didn't make it go in. If you know something about it, or when I started my first podcast, hey, what should I do about it? It was almost the same question, but those people never did it, and they still work for somebody, and they never got around to finish.
Boss status, did y'all hear that? And they still work for somebody. I love it. And that's true, man. I think the key to trying to really get yourself to the next place is to do something that most people are not going to willing to do, or they're going to just sit there and procrastinate on it. And you, from what I've heard, you just move on something, and you just move, and you just keep moving. You're 90 miles an hour, Gary. You're like a soft fast pitch. You know what I mean?
And also, a lot of my things are not things I think of. I have a real good friend in California, Paul Colligan. He's a real big marketer out there, and he markets to tech people. I take a lot of his ideas, and I just reuse them, but the softball people,
Right.
So you don't have to have, and he's cool with it. We're real good friends, but you don't have to be a genius. You just got to find your niche and then see other things and have an open mind to say, how can I move that marketing into my niche? Or that I got my book coming out. So I'm like doing the same thing. I have a magazine. I learned about it from Paul. He has a YouTube magazine. I'll do a softball magazine. So I pretty much copy anything Paul does,
Right. Awesome. Is there any way you could turn your mic down? Your bandwidth has got you sounding like T-Pain, if you know who T-Pain is.
I don't.
I don't know what it is, but right now, since you're on Safari, I guess, and you couldn't be on your perfect Chrome, your bandwidth is kind of slow, and now it's kind of, I can hear it, it's kind of choppy, which is fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm using some internet at a batting cage. So let me see.
Oh my God, I love it.
So
because for what you guys don't know is Gary's like, oh, Lim, I scheduled a shoot this morning too as well. I'm like, man, he done double booked himself. That's a man who's on a mission. I love it. And I do appreciate you coming.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We'll get through it, because this is
turn down more.
That should be fine, Gary. No big deals. Okay. Let's move on because I get interactive. People are talking right now as we speak, and they're letting me know that it's not the mic, it's the camera that needs to be adjusted. We can't do that right now. Anyway, all right, moving on. So, Gary, you have a subscription for all your guys each year, right? The ones who are interested in your niche, right?
Well, for my magazine, I do.
Yes. And what are you charging these guys, and what's in the subscription each year?
Well, the magazine's 12 issues. I just charge $12.99, and they get an issue a month. And it's just like any magazine, any e-magazine, but I charge. But, I'm really different from everybody else, and because of the fact I have, like, I'm going to just guess 20 websites that sell softball equipment.
Right.
So I give away my content for free because the people who are reading it are my customer base.
Right.
So I'm a little different than most people. Most people are trying to make some money, off their product they're sending out, where I'm not. Like I said, I want as many people to see my product and share it. I was looking at an app the other day, and I saw my videos in this app, and instead of going, oh, he's reading my content, I'm going, great. Able to see my commercials.
Right.
Because I put commercials in my shows. Every show I do has a commercial, an actual video commercial. So I want people watching.
I heard you the other day, even on your podcast show, you had a commercial. I thought, this joker is selling while he's on the show. He's smart.
Awesome. People don't want to see my commercial. I had this conversation with some people last year that those masters and they were telling me, you don't want to really do these commercials. You might lose viewers. You want to maybe do it NPR style. And I'm like, the hell with that. I don't care if they watch it. If they don't want to see my commercial, why do I care?
Right.
Okay. I got 1 million people watching, but none of them buy anything from me. Who cares? I'd rather have 10,000 people watching that all buy something from me. I'm not I've had 2.5 million views on YouTube. They all have commercials in them. So obviously there are enough people don't, and I'm in a super micro niche. So yeah, this thing like you can't have commercials. That's BS. Who cares if they watch if you can't show them a commercial?
Right.
You can't sell them something unless you just like being in front of a camera.
Right.
And also just to let your viewers know, I know that I'm on a really slow stream here for some reason. My setup at home is fantastic.
Right. Right.
I came out here and to do this filming so I could be with you, and I haven't had a chance to go back home. I just got through 5 minutes ago.
It's all good. We can hear you just fine. They'll just have to go back a little bit, and I hear everything. It's fine. It's just a little slow at times. Right now, you're good. Gary, if you can go back and change anything about your niche right now, what would you do to change it? Because right now you have a great way, but I know there was some probably learning curves or something you would have done different, and you might be trying to do that right now as well. What would you have done different?
Well, I'm always evolving, but when I first started and I had maybe 300 viewers, per show, Easton Sports contacted me and said, hey, we'd like to sponsor your show. And I was like, oh, wow, this is fantastic.
Right.
So they sponsored my show for a year and they gave me like $3,000. They paid it all in advance. I just put a plug on every commercial or on every show. And now, those shows, it's 7 years later and they're still getting those plugs. So I would have never taken those commercials from someone else.
Right.
Because I'm real upset about those every time I look at the stats. I go, man, they got another 20,000 views this year for free. Yeah, my outside advertising.
Right. Right.
Well, like I said, I'm unusual. Most people don't have a product line. I don't care if it's a book. I don't care. My magazine, all the ads in the magazine are my websites or my books. So, in my books, I have links to all my websites in the ebooks. So people get through the books, they can go to my websites. Everything I do has it all interlinks. It's like a big wagon wheel, and my store's in the middle. And this spoke is one show. This spoke is a podcast. This spoke is a book. This spoke is a magazine. This spoke is a community. And all the spokes point to the middle, which is the store.
Right, right. And I get that you have a team built around you now, correct?
I don't know what that means.
Do you have people that works for you and you say, hey, I need this done. I got an idea right now. Let me see what
I pretty much do all the online stuff myself. I work on the website, the stuff that we sell. And I have some people I sub out. I have an art person who I have do all my artwork, and I have a person who lays out my magazine for me. But most of the stuff I do myself. I do all my editing, all my filming, all my just about everything else.
Right.
When you got to realize I'm not a perfectionist.
Right.
You can do a lot of stuff if you're not a perfectionist.
And you know what? Not being you know what? You get a lot of stuff done, but some people I think tend to take forever. And it takes forever to try to get everything right. And it just can't be right all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a website up right now. The National Pro Fast Pitch League gave me a license for a year to make their products. And they're hoping that I do so well with it that next year I'll pay for a license. And the website's up. There's hardly anything on it, but I got it up, because I want, if someone stumbles on it, they can buy it. I could be waiting another 6 months till I have it all finished, but it's good enough. Someone wants to stumble on there and buy a cat or a hat, they can buy it from me, I don't care. I'm not a perfectionist. I don't care if it's 100% built, as long as I'm making money, And also in my niche one, you got to realize a kid quits playing softball at 20, so I got a whole new audience.
Right.
So, in 10 years, no one's going to remember that website was halfway built when they first.
Right. That's awesome. Wow. Tell us a little bit about your Facebook. How many subscribers on your Facebook group you have, dude? I was amazed when I saw that number.
Has 93,000. But my groups, I have like 350 something Facebook groups. It's a lot of groups. And my top Facebook group is like 11,000. And then my next one now is like in the 9,000 area. And they're all growing. So I think that within 2 or 3 years, I'll have 4 or 5 million people in my groups.
Oh,
I just started them all.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. As you get here.
So, and I marketed pin at the top with my commercial.
Right.
So you got to watch my commercial when you go to the group.
Wow. I've watched your channel on you sent me a couple of links, and I love how you have that lady talking about softball, because you couldn't have done a better job. I mean, right there, you have a little girl. She's not little, but she's talking about softball. She looks like she has played or coached softball at one time, and it's like awesome. Then you get on there and start talking about your products and stuff, and I'm like, this dude's got it together. He has it together. How did you come up with all this by yourself, or did you get encouragement from other people? Like you said, you're not perfectionist, but dude, that looks good. So I'm just kind of wondering, how'd you come up with all that?
I consider myself, if I like something, I think the majority of people like something.
Right.
I think I'm real average. That's my daughter. She's 27 now. That video is kind of old.
Keeping it in the family. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's free help. It's free help.
Right.
And, my shows are pretty much the same. Every show starts out with her. Then I get on there for 1.5 to 2 minutes and just pound you with sales stuff. Here's my website. Here's my video. Then I show you a commercial. Then I show you what you came for, like a clinic or a seminar.
Right.
Then I show you a commercial. And then I pound you a little bit more. And then I have an outro. So it's like a sandwich.
Right.
The intro and the outro are the bread. Me pounding are the lettuce on one side and the cheese on the other side. And the commercials are like mustard and ketchup. And then the meat is in the middle, and that's what you really came to see. But you got to eat the bread. You got to eat the lettuce. And you got to eat the mustard to get to the... If they don't want to watch that, I don't care if they watch my show or not.
Right.
Like I said, I don't care. I don't want just big numbers. I want people seeing my commercials.
Awesome. So let me ask you this, Garrett. Does this feel like work to you? I mean, you're really busy, because what the viewers do not know, you travel a lot. You interview fast pitch players or Olympians as well. I mean, you're the real deal. I don't think that really feels like work sometimes, but what's your take on that?
Well, I always tell people, like I said earlier, people always ask me, what should I do a podcast on, or what should I do a website on? I always say do it on something you love if possible, because I don't care what it is. After 10 years, it's work. I don't care what it is. But, if you really, really like what you're doing in 10 years, you might not love it anymore, but you'll still like it. You know, if you're just doing it because you're doing it, I guarantee it's going to be 10 years and you're going to hate it. You know, so that's why I say I like what I do. I don't think I could work for anyone else, but it is work. You know, like I had to go to Florida, 3 weeks ago and spend a whole week at a softball tournament interviewing people. That gets kind of old after a while, and but it's way better than what a lot of my friends do.
I love that.
I like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know that I love it, but I like it. Yeah.
Hey,
Bill, how are you?
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna mention Bill creeped in. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good, and I think Lynn's doing okay here.
Oh yeah.
This is a relaxed show, and he's wearing a coat and tie there.
That's awesome.
It's always like this, Gary. I'm the host, but I want to make you feel comfortable. I'm not pressuring you over here. I want you to feel good. What'd you have for breakfast this morning, Gary?
Protein shake.
That's funny.
There you go.
Protein shake every morning, hoping that'll keep me thin, but it must be everything I eat the rest of the day.
That's what it is, man. I got that same issue, brother.
I start out good. When I leave the house, I'm pretty much on track. It's just when I get home that wasn't on.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So, Gary, what do you have plans for the future as soft pitch goes forward? I mean, what are your plans for the future with this?
Well, right now we're doing video on demand. And that's something we're doing. A lot of these Olympians and former players are great players. And when they got out of the Olympics, the Olympics only had softball for like 4 times. So there's only like 32 maybe Olympians.
Right.
And they made videos and stuff because they were a hot commodity. Well, now their name is not known anymore by the kids. And they all have these videos and stuff that are sitting on the shelves and they're not making any money. So now I'm doing deals with them where they give me the videos and I put them on my site as a pay-per-view. And I charge $9.95 and you can watch the video 3 days instead of buying it for $50. And then I do a revenue split with them. So they've already produced the video. All I got to do is rip it off the CD or DVD. And I just upload it on a pay-per-view basis and I get half the proceeds. It's a good deal for them too because they aren't getting anything off of it now. So that's something we're doing. And then we're thinking about I talked to a guy while I was in Florida. I ran into a guy who does a lot of videos for this company that sells DVDs. And he was telling me the money that they give him, they don't give him jack. I can't believe they get such a small amount. So we're studying doing DVD production of stuff instead of pay-per-view because you can sell those for $40 and they only pay like 15% of the sales. So that's it. The books are doing real good. I like doing books. I can put those out pretty quick. I'm pretty quick at that now. I can whip out a book in no time at all.
Wow.
So those are the really things we're doing. I just see stuff, like I said earlier, and I say, hey, how can I repurpose that from my situation? And then I repurpose my content like everywhere. Like when I put out a show, before the year's over, it'll be a video version that'll be put out like every month for 6 months, an audio version that'll be put out every month for 6 months, and a text version. So within a year it goes out on everything you can think of: Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, not MySpace, but Twitter, everything.
Is that still alive?
I'm about to say.
It's still there.
Actually, it is, and it's a music site now. I think Justin Timberlake bought it. It's a music site. It's really kind of nice now. Just nobody uses it.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Wow, you just throwing me off over here in the loop, man. I was blown away the other day with you, but now I'm really blown away how you we're gonna turn this to a DVD. We're gonna grab their rights. We're gonna pull it this way. And I'm like, what? That is awesome.
There's lots of opportunities out there. People just don't think hard enough on making money.
Exactly. There's the key.
That's true.
I like making money. I mean, I really do. I think I like it. It's like kind of like hunting. I like making money more than I do spending it. I think.
I've heard a lot of people say that it's like hunting. It's like a challenge. They find something, they fix it, and they just take it to the next level. That is awesome. Wow. My goodness.
I think a lot of times I'll find some. And a lot of my things don't make a lot of money, but I do a lot of things, and some make a lot, and some make a little. You know, I have some websites that may only make $5,000 a year, and I have some that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So I mean, you know, you don't have to make a lot on everything. But most things I do, most websites I make are like once I get through with them, they're done. You know, they just self-run. Like,
so yeah, yours is pretty
awesome.
much on autopilot then from there. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So, how long have you known Jeremy Vest?
Maybe 3 years.
3 years?
I met him 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I can't remember what event, but when he was starting
VidPal?
his VidPal, I went over to his house. He was wanting to film me for some commercials or something, talking about using YouTube. And I kind of got to know him better from that point on. I knew him, but I didn't know him real well. I like Jeremy. He's a pretty sharp cookie.
Yes, he is.
I watch him. He's doing that puppet now. I'm thinking about maybe I should have a puppet. You know?
Yeah, that puppet is like extreme, man. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I need to do a show. I already got a name for the guy, a puppet. It'd be Victor Eas. Coach V. Vic is victorious.
Right.
You can't have a win without Victor.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So
that's
true. That's why I see stuff like that, and I go, how can I use that? So I got a name for my character and a slogan, kind of. So I may do a puppet.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, my niche is so removed for anyone that's in the tech field. Nobody cares if I copy their stuff.
Right.
No tech person's going to see my stuff, you know.
True. That's true. When you're out in the ball fields interviewing people, are you actually have anything to sell products or anything like that while you're out there?
No, I have stores for that. I don't want to carry around stuff and mess with it. You know,
Yeah.
So no, I don't. I just don't want to mess with it. That's what I have stores for. You know, I have a brick and mortar store. It's like 3,500 square feet, and then, you know, like I said, a ton of websites. And I did all that because I didn't want to like go out to the fields and sell stuff.
Right.
So I mean, I have lots of opportunities to, but I just don't mess with that. That's a lot of work. You know, it is. You're actually out there.
It is. I know it's hot, man, and it's hot too. You ain't got time for that. You know what I mean?
Or like one of my people that work for me in the store came up and gave me this picture of this trailer and said, "Hey, we could do this." And the trailer was terrible. I bought this trailer one time from Worth Sports. It was like the side opened and it had like glass display cases. It was air conditioned, had a TV playing so you could show products up there, places for your bat. This was like the primo bat trailer. And
Right.
I bought it from them when they got out of the business for $1,000. I was going to do it. And then I said, I don't think I want to do it. And I sold it for like $5,000, you know, because it was such a good trailer. So I had the perfect setup. You could keep your inventory in it, just park it in your garage, you know, or it wouldn't fit in your garage. It's too big. But yeah, I don't want to really actually do physical work, and that would be physical work.
Yeah, and that takes way too much time, too much stress, and you don't want to do that.
And you're all worn out when you get home.
Yeah, grumpy next day.
When you get home, I crop on the dude or something and making stuff. You know,
Right.
I on the computer. You know, I think a lot of people think their time's too valuable. You know, I was having a discussion with, do you know Mason Pelt? He used to work for Jeremy.
No, I don't know Mason. No.
But we were talking one day about time. He's going, my time is too valuable to be doing it. I said, what in the hell are you talking about? Your time's so valuable. Every time you're sitting on a couch doing nothing. Oh, that's real valuable time, isn't it? Oh, yeah, I can't do anything unless I'm making. Yeah, I can watch TV and work and make some money. Yeah, my time's not very valuable at all. I got lots of it. You know? And then I see other people who like 3-day work week. I don't want to work 3 days. I like coming up with ideas. I like making money.
Right.
You know, I guess maybe when I days a week, but I just don't even. I don't want to read that book because I don't understand the whole purpose of it. You know, for 3 days. My wife would kick my butt if I was home. Those 2 or 3 days.
Right. She's like, what are you doing here? She could be doing something.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, you're making money in 3 weeks. 3 days. Go make some more money. You got 3 more
Right.
days. Go get a part-time job.
Right. That is funny. That worth ethic.
Remember when I first got married, my wife was making me. This was 87 or 82. She was making me go to places like, first of all, I was a national sales rep for this big company, and I called on like General Motors stuff, and I did real well at it. I just didn't like doing it. She had me at night, wanted me to go to like Taco Bueno or someplace to get a part-time job because I had some time at night.
Oh
So my wife had me out like going to Taco Bueno, Taco Bell, hunting for a part-time job because I could get in an extra 5 hours a day, according to my wife. You know, luckily no one would hire me for any of those jobs. I don't think my demeanor was very good when I would go in there. Maybe I was overqualified. I don't know, but I remember that I forgot all about that. Had me out going to Taco Bell and Whataburger and places like that, putting in applications because I had an extra 5 hours a day. I could be doing something.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Woo! Did her family have that type of, demeanor?
Well, when I met her, she was a school teacher, and she worked at Steak and Ale in the evenings and weekends, and she sold Shakely. It was some kind of protein product, like Amway. So, I mean, she did a lot. She guess they did. Heck, I don't know. She wanted me to do a lot more than I did. I know that.
Right. She wasn't having it with you.
I remember that.
She was like,
I went to Taco Bell and I put in the application. I was like, what the hell am I doing this for?
Oh, man, that's awesome stuff, Gary. Well, man, I know you're busy, and I really appreciate you coming on here. Is there anything else you can leave with us as far as, if you're just starting out with a niche, what would you suggest the viewers to do,
Well, I'll tell you one thing I learned the hard way is don't give up too soon. Don't wait forever till it's perfect, and don't give up too soon. When I first started my wallpaper business after about 5-6 years, I told my wife, I said, man, maybe we need to get out. The block down the street was one of the biggest dealers in Dallas-Fort Worth, and a mile down the street in the other direction was the other biggest dealer in Dallas-Fort Worth. And we were kind of in the middle, not making any money. And she goes, no, we need to do this. You can't work anywhere else. You really need to make this work. So we said, okay, we'll stick with this wallpaper business. It wasn't a month later that the guy down the street, a block down the street, said, hey, I'm going out of business. I'm tired of being in this business. You want to buy my inventory for like 5 cents on the dollar?
Wow.
Then a year later, the other guy who gave it to his kids. He retired, and his kids ran it out of business in a year. So within a year from that point of me saying I think we should get out of business, I was the only player in town in Arlington. Now we got how many people in Dallas-Fort Worth? Like 4 or 5 million people.
Yes.
There's only like 3 wallpaper stores.
Yes,
and 4 or 5 million people.
You are right.
Yeah, wallpaper is not what it was, but then again, neither is the competition.
Wait. Wallpaper still exists?
Yes.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's really popular right now. If you watch any TV show, I'll tell you, now that I've said this, you'll see this. Any TV show you watch that's new, any news you look, you will see wallpaper everywhere. So once the TV shows and movies start showing it, so we're getting ready to have a boom in wallpaper. It's just taking a little while to develop, but believe me, every time we go to the movie, we're like, oh, wow, look at all that wallpaper. Wouldn't that be great if that happens again? So I think it's just a matter of time.
It is. It might be, man. Why does that keep muting you, Bill? I'm not doing it. It keeps muting you every time. What is going on with that? Hold on. Let's see here.
I'm muting myself because.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm about to say it like blink. Anyway, awesome. Wow.
Yeah, so don't give up too soon is what I'm saying too. So just stick with it. I mean, don't go bankrupt doing it. Right. But then again, I fund everything myself, and I spend very little money on startup. I'm not one of those people to go, oh, let's spend $200,000 to make this thing work. You
kind of test the waters and all that first, and you're like, right. Yeah. Awesome. Gary Leland, how can people reach you?
So many people just ask what I did, that I made a website just to show all the things I do. And it's GaryLeland.com. But when you go to the podcast tab, that's all my podcasts. When you go to the video tab, those are all my videos. When you go to the store tabs, those are all my stores. When you go to the website tab, so GaryLeland.com. And like I said, I apologize to you and your viewers for this connection. This was I had to do this opportunity out here in McKinney, and this was the only way I could make this work. So,
Nah, it's all good. I'm sure I'll have you on some other time. I'm not worried about it. And we need to have
next
lunch,
time I'll be at my house, and the connection will be great.
Right.
Sounds great.
We need to get together, for lunch, by the way, man, and just shoot the crap. You know how.
If anyone is interested in podcasting at all, I do have a podcast magazine, entertainment.com. Comes out every month. So if anyone's, because that technology seems to be on a real hotbed right now, compared to what it was a few years.
Yep.
10 years now, it's kind of hot again. So if anyone's interested in podcasting, I'm taking a look at that. So you get a plug-in on you. Yeah, I got to get a commercial of some kind.
Right. Oh, and also, real quick, don't you have an event coming up in Fort Worth? Yeah,
we have Podcast Movement. It'll be our second year. We're hoping to have about 1,200 people. It's the largest podcast event in the world, I guess. Matter of fact, I think if we hit our 1,200, we'll be the second biggest tech conference in Texas, behind South by Southwest. And this is our second year for that, but that's at podcastmovement.com, and we have some big names there. So that's kind of.
So what's the magic number? 1,200 is the magic number. That's it.
That's what we're shooting for. Texas behind South by Southwest. We'll never pass them.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought 1,200 was like more than Southwest. I was about to say, what? All right. Anyway, cool. Yeah, Billy, we need to work on that. Yeah, we're talking about Billy. Anyway. Okay. Well, once again, Gary Leland, you are a treat, man. You are awesome, dude. I'm so grateful to be in your presence. I'm glad we met. You blew my socks off the first time we sat together. I was like, look at this guy. Hey, did you get those T-shirts going yet, by the way?
No, but I did tell my my uniform guy to start coming out with one. So So we'll have those probably in the next month. So yeah.
Hey,
we're just producing all that gear for the Pro League right now.
Right. What? Do I get like 2% of that cut or something? I mean, we can work that out if we want to.
I really thought you deserved like 5%.
Oh, buddy,
I was going to probably have that paperwork sent over to you soon.
Yeah, send that over to me when they're ready. I'll sign it. 1% of something is better than nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're a nice guy. I knew you wouldn't mind.
Awesome. All right, Gary, thank you for being on here, man. I'll be contacting you, by the way. We need to get together, have lunch, buddy, and, throw some ideas at each other. And I appreciate you coming on. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and like I said, I apologize again for my connection. I usually take kind of pride on this being kind of nice. You guys have a good day.
All right, you too, Gary. Thanks, man.
See ya.
All righty. Bye-bye. Billy, did you want to talk about anything before we got off here? Because I'm sure people are wanting to discuss some few things, and I guess this would be a perfect time to do it, but if not, it's just totally up to you, by the way.
So basically, guys, if you're ready to be one of the 50 beta testers, Lem, if you want to type up a link and just show it on the screen since I'm not home. But it is videoalpha.net / hold on, let me make sure I have it right. Video Ad Spy. And you guys can click the link and you can become part of the group. So, like I said, we're only doing 50 because that's it for now. I don't want to break it too much. So I want to see if everything is good, and as long as everything is good, we're going to release it in a month to everybody else. But everybody in the group has first dibs to get in. So.
How are they going to break it?
Hey, you never know. That's why we're doing beta, man. So, I need to buy a bigger server or what. So,
right.
Does anybody have any questions? There was one question I can address. Somebody asked, so it runs on Adobe Air, so it's on Mac and PC.
Nice.
It runs on our server, so you do not need HMA proxies or anything else. So when you connect it, when it does the scraping, it runs right from our server. So you don't need any of that stuff.
Awesome. Bill, you said videoalpha.net/adspy, right?
Hold on. I think it's Video Ad Spy.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Just so everybody's aware, if you do buy it, it's a manual license process. So our VA has to manually do it. So it does take up to 24 hours, and then they'll email you the license.
I got the link.
What?
I got the link. I'll put that in the group right now as we speak.
For the video ads. Okay.
Yes.
But just give us a little bit of time and patience on this one, because it is a total software base. So if there's any challenges or anything else you have while you're using it, email us. You can use one of the 2 email supports on the link, either the Ignition email or you can send me an email, either one. And we'll check both of those. But other than that, you pretty much just click the link, and then once everything is set up, you'll get a code from us for the software, for the activation of the software.
Sweet. You did address that. Okay, I guess you did address that.
Oh, so here's the deal, guys. For the price, it's gonna be $4.95 is what it's gonna release at for a yearly license. For the Video Alpha group, it's $197, one-time fee, and it's a lifetime license. And as far as computer goes, it's a 2-license system. Well, we may do, if somebody else wants a 3rd license for our group, we'll add a 3rd license, but it's just 2. So.
Awesome. Keep talking. Hold on, Bill.
Any other questions? I mean, that's pretty much, it's very user-friendly. The system isn't totally, everything is not set up. When you go into it, it's going to ask you to register in the Video Alpha site, and then it'll take you back, and then you'll see on top of the site, you'll see a new thing. It says Video Ad Spy. You click on that and go in and download the software right from there. If for some reason it does not register you in the Video Alpha site, just send us an email so we can add you. Or you can send us a Facebook message and just tell us, and then we'll look it up and get you registered. So.
Got it. Yes. Let's see here. I'm sending out an email as well as we speak, guys. Once again, this is a lifetime license, so it's not going to be a monthly thing for you. Bill, what are we doing with the other people, though, after that?
So the other people will have an option to buy it for $97 a month or $4.97 a year, but it's a yearly license.
Yes.
So this is a lifetime for our group. And there's nothing on the market to be able to, and it does full monetized ads. So it'll show you both in-stream ads, and if it's one of the text ads at the bottom of the video, it will find both options for monetizing the video. So it does not only videos, it does channels, and then it has a keyword tool built into it as well, that you can put a keyword in, and it'll give you derivatives of the keyword. And then you can search by either video or channel on each of the keywords. I didn't really talk about it in the other video, but there's a campaign builder in it.
Yes.
And what it's going to do is it'll connect to AdWords, and you'll be able to upload right to your AdWords campaign from the software. Right now, it's not, because the coding is still about 1 to 2 months away, because it's very intensive for AdWords stuff. But right now, what it does is the campaign builder will basically, you can build your campaign in there and export it and upload it right into AdWords.
Nice. All right. And guys, you can start thinking about how you can monetize this also later on with creative cards at Creative. I think I'm saying that right. Cards with YouTube, which I have a video on showing you if you're not sure what that is. It's pretty neat. and I will show you how to set that up as well. But this is something that you can use on client sites and get traffic to their website or one of the sites that are connected with YouTube ads that you're able to, not YouTube, but YouTube platform that you're able to sell different products on. And I believe Daryl mentioned something about us getting a Google Wallet back in the day, probably 6 months ago, and I see why he said that, where it's going now. So it all makes sense now, since everything is going to a certain position online. So I was really, really surprised to see all the different types of things you can do with the new cards on YouTube. So guys, get ready to start rocking and rolling on that. This was a fun. Wow, we're still under time. I got 5 minutes. This is a Side Cup of Joe. I kept it under wraps. I can't believe I did that. Wow, I'm getting better and better at this. I hope you guys enjoyed that great information. If you have any questions, do they need to send us a message or email?
Either one of the emails you can send us a message to, or you can Facebook us. And if there's any other questions, just post them in the group so we can answer them. But that should be pretty much it. It's very user-friendly. So.
Yes, it is. Very user-friendly. All right, the only thing about it is we have to wait a couple of, maybe not even less than 24 hours just to get you in the system. So
yeah, it's pretty quick, but it's up to 24 hours for the VA to put everybody in. So just be patient if you don't get your license right away. So
yeah, we'll get it to you. We'll get it to you. Wow. All right. Well, this is going to be fun. This is going to change some people's lives, and it's going to make it easier, I know.
And it's really cool because my favorite thing is to be able to steal other people's traffic. So now you can find the right videos, and it'll show you likes, comments, how many views are on it, everything. So you can see if it's a high-profile video or a not high-profile video. So.
Booyah! Booyah! All right. So we've you guys just should have just received an email from me on that as well. The links of the beta tester. Yes, video ad spy beta tester. It's in the group. Get on that. We're only taking 50. That is it, because we got to make sure you don't break it, or we have to make something else up and fix it. So I doubt you'll break it, but I challenge you to. Okay. So that being said, contact us later. If you love the show, comment on the show, sidecupofjoe.com. There's a little speaker microphone on the right of the website that you can look at that says information or something like that, whatever. You just kind of click on it and say, hey, Lim, how you doing? I love the show, or wear T-shirts or whatever you want to say. I don't know. Anyway, comment on it. Of course, some of you guys are in the Cup of Joe group, and I appreciate you being in there. With that being said, Bill Walsh, where are you driving today, Bill? Where are you coming from?
I'm actually, well, we were looking at a wedding venue, so now I'm going to get a hamburger.
Oh, snaps. There it is twice. That's 2, y'all. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you soon.
See ya.